Hello students and welcome to Edupedia World. My name is Shivam Mishra and today we are going to discuss the solutions to IIT JEE Advanced 2015 paper 1. The code which we are using is 4. Okay students, let us look at paragraph for question numbers 15 and 16. It says that an aqueous solution of a metal ion M1 reacts separately with reagents Q and R in excess to give tetrahedral and square planar complexes respectively. Okay, an aqueous solution of another metal ion M2 always forms tetrahedral complexes with these reagents. Aqueous solution of M2, this is M2, on reaction with reagent S gives white precipitate which dissolves in excess of S. The reactions are summarized in the scheme given below. Okay, so these are the reactions which have been summarized. There is a metal ion M1 which on reaction with Q and R respectively forms tetrahedral complex. So clearly this will be your sp3 hybridization, and square planar complex which will be a dsp2 hybridization, right? Further it says there is another metal ion M2 which on reaction with Q and R always forms tetrahedral complexes, and on reaction with S it first forms a white precipitate and then this precipitate dissolves. So clearly this indicates an amphoteric nature, okay, because normally it happens in the case of compounds of amphoteric salt that they form a precipitate which then later on dissolves. So this would indicate the amphoteric nature of M2. Okay, so these are some of the preliminary hints which I am getting looking at the passage. Now let me take you to the questions. In question number 15, it first asks that M1, Q and R respectively are. Now first of all, at first go the information might seem very limited and this question might appear out of bounds. However, if we try to examine the options and we try to eliminate from the given options, then this becomes a fairly simple task to do. See, M1 on reaction with Q forms tetrahedral complex, so clearly this will be sp3 hybridization, and on reaction with R it forms a square planar complex, so this will be dsp2 hybridization. Now the moment I see this, my options A and C are ruled out immediately. Why? Because both Zn2 plus as well as cadmium 2 plus, they both have a d10 configuration. Their d orbitals are completely filled. Okay, so they both have a d10 configuration, and as such a dsp2 hybridization won't be possible. Okay, so option A and C are ruled out. Now let us look at option B and D. B seems to be suiting my purposes because Ni2 plus in excess of Cl minus, right, that will be Q, in excess of Cl minus, which is a weak field ligand, I am representing by WFL, weak field ligand, will form sp3 tetrahedral complex, that will be NiCl4 2 minus, okay, and Ni2 plus in excess of Cn minus, which happens to be a strong field ligand, I am representing by SFL, will form NiCn4 2 minus, okay, and this will be dsp2, and being dsp2 it will be a square planar complex. You might be forced to think for a moment that D could also be an option. However, let me tell you that CO2 plus, that is cobalt, CO2 plus with excess of Cn minus forms a octahedral complex, that is COCN whole 6 4 minus. So if this is an octahedral complex, there is no point that it can be square planar. So clearly D is also being ruled out as the option. So that leaves me only with B. That will be my correct answer to the question. So in JEE, particularly in inorganic chemistry, you might find sometimes some questions which at the initial go might lack information and they might seem to be impossible to solve. However, if you try to analyze the options, then using the elimination process, we can safely reach as option B. Thank you. Okay, so let us look at question number 16, which is the second part of the comprehension. It says that reagent S is. Now, if we go back to the scheme, we can see that this M2 ion is being treated with excess of S. First, it is being treated with S in stoichiometric amount. As a result of that, we are getting a white PPT. And now in excess of S, it dissolves. Okay. So, amongst the given options, we have only one of the reagents, that is KOH, which happens to be a complexing agent. K4FeCN6, it is itself a complex, so there is no point that it can form a new complex now. And similarly, K2CrO4, they form precipitates. Chromates are precipitate generally. So KOH is a very good example of a reagent which is a complexing agent. So clearly D will be my answer. Okay. Suppose if it was asked in the question, what could be M2? So for M2, Zn2 plus could be a very good option because it always forms tetrahedral complexes. Point number one, it is always amphoteric in nature. It will react first with OH minus to form zinc hydroxide, and which on further reaction will form zincate and dissolve. Okay, so D will be my answer to the question. Thank you.